Hello YouTube and welcome back to 7 Days Tonight. We are on day 2. We didn't have too much activity during the night. I can't remember actually noticing that on our multiplayer server, whether that was the case for us. I think we had pretty much a massive activity, so I'm just being fortunate that we didn't get ganked by a lot of zombies. We did get a few. So today's mission is literally we need to get a mining operation set up. So we need to find a mine, and we are going to put our foundation down for our base. So it's a quick run around the camp, process everything that we were processing through the night. And the next thing is to start breaking down our iron bars into metal strips. So I've picked a location out, and this is roughly where I want our location. And what we need to do is create metal strips. We can repair our tools and then we'll start working. And the way you do this is you get the iron ingots and break them down into forged iron bars. As you can see there, I've got 27. From the forged iron bars, you then break them down again, which turns into iron short pipes, and then break the iron short pipes down, as you can see there, into metal strips. And then it's a case of put your item you want to repair in the center, the strips next to it, and click craft, and what it'll do is it'll meld the two together and repair your item. So as you see, our fire axe and shovel are quite beat up, so it's worth at this point getting everything all working in tip-top shape, and then when you do want to come to just use it, you do not have to then think about repairing it. We'll just take the extra time out now. The final thing is just to repair our shovel. Once our shovel's repaired, we'll start digging the footings out for our foundation, and we're going to do a tower-like construction. We've got something similar on our multiplayer server that we're using for like a forward observation point, and it worked quite well for us there, so I figured for this Let's Play type series it would be ideal. It's not over complicated like the big structures you see on our multiplayer. I'm on my own, so I've got to do everything all the way through, so it's a lot smaller and quicker to set up, and hopefully we'll get that all run by day 7. So our start is a 3x3, and we've just lined that with our rebar frame. Now in order to make it into reinforced concrete, we've then got to upgrade the iron rebar with a wood frame around. And then within that wood frame, what we would do is pour our concrete, and then that will then dry into reinforced concrete. So we've gone ahead, got our footings down, so at least we know where our base is going to be situated. We've made a start on it. So day 2, we're fortunate, we're already getting ready to get our base built, and we've already made a start. Now I'm hoping I am not going to need any form of base. If I can find a mine shaft, I'm going to barricade myself in the mine shaft until I can get a base set up. And hopefully being down deep underground, I'll get left alone for the majority of it. So I've basically at this point picked a direction of which way I want to go, and I'm just going to go for it and then just start scouting the area and find a mine. Now in Alpha 11.4 they actually changed the amount of mines that are spawned or generated when you create a world now. It used to be before that, when they were introduced in 11 and going forward, they were just absolutely everywhere. I'd have probably fell over about 10 by now, but they're a lot harder to find. So we've managed to take ourselves a deer, so we're going to go ahead and grab some items off it, and our focus is going to be the meat, the hide and the body fat. I don't need to collect the bones, I've got plenty of sticks to make arrows, so it's just one less thing in my inventory. So I've gone ahead, processed our leather, or our hide into leather. And it's a quick run back to base camp. And we're pretty much out of space. So I decide, stuff it, go ahead and get another storage container set up. I'm going to need the space. There's going to be more stuff coming up from the mine, so it's just easier if I just set another one up. I don't want to set too many of these, obviously we're out in the open, but it's just a place where I can quickly dump things. So off we go again on our travels, and we have a nursey. You're going to drop any antibiotics for me and be nice? Of course not. Whenever you want antibiotics, you can never find them. When you don't want them, you find thousands. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just running until I get to the edge of the border is my plan, and then scout around and then slowly work my way back. Managed to get level 6, so that's good. So day 2 we're at level 6. Grab a few items as we go. I am going to need the cloth, so when I do find a mine shaft I'm going to need the cloth in order to make torches, so I might as well go ahead and grab that now. Bit of corn, goldenrod. Something else I need to start getting going is converting all my water that I'm using for drinking into goldenrod tea. It serves two purposes. One, for the fact it gives you wellness when you drink it. I think every 2 or 3 drinks you take it'll give you a wellness point, and the second part is it actually rehydrates you a lot more than water, so you use far less of it. And I've just spotted the mine shaft on the map, and there we go. So we've found our mine. So at this point it's pretty much run around, grab the resources. I'm not fully prepared to go in the mine as I am. I need to get torches set up. I'm going to need wood while I'm down there. I'll need wood for the forge to grab the wood to fire the forge, so I might as well go ahead and grab that. So I've grabbed a load of wood, and I decided on my way back is to plant some more trees. Now when you chop trees down, you've a chance of it actually not only dropping the wood logs, of dropping seed. So quite close to my base, I've gone ahead and planted a few seeds that I did drop, and get that all processed. Again, a lot of boring stuff goes on between major points, and it just literally just run around your inventory processing things at this point, and as quickly as possible. You know, it is still early on day 2. We have found a mine which is going to make things a lot easier. We can actually start getting stuff for our base, but time is marching on. So we've gone ahead and made our first leather armor. For the armors, it goes cloth, leather, scrap armor, and iron armor. is the 4 levels that you can get. Leather's not too bad. It's the easiest one that you're going to make at this stage. You're always going to get leather for the fact that you're going to be killing deer and you're going to be killing pigs. So you got the hides from them. And as you saw, it's not the greatest of stats, but it's better than nothing. You've got some protection. So I went ahead and bent the legs. We'll get them put on in just a moment. And as you can see, our average protection stats have jumped up quite a lot with just adding that leather armour. And that was just the legs. So our tallo's coming off quite nicely, so we need to start making torches, which is going to be the main thing that's going to light us. The caves are dark, so we do need to get torches up and running. And again, you spend, when you're working like this, you spend a lot of time jumping in and out of inventories and your storage boxes, just because you can't carry a lot and you've no way of organising everything. If any of you guys have seen my multiplayer videos, you will know that everything that I do I have organised very much ADD style of it has its place, you know where you're going for it, you can get straight to it. And there's just so much stuff that you do collect in this game, it just makes it so much easier. We're just waiting on a last bit of tallow, get the last few torches. Now another item that we are going to be needing is the wooden frames. You'll see me use them quite a lot, and we already know from day one that there are quite a few of them already in the hardware store in the town. So literally I finished making the torches, I've run back into town, and that's what I'm doing now. Grab the wooden box. And again, I think I just had a momentary brain freeze when I was looking at that one. So on the way back, as you saw just there, I managed to get some more food. So I'm going to go ahead and get the food cooked up now. And I've just made myself a grill. I've got the short iron bar spur at this point to go ahead and get some of the meat cooking. You'll see the meat, not the brass. So I finished cooking up some of the meat, ate some, and then decided it was time to actually head down into the mine and basically see what we've got, whether it's a good mine, whether we should go and look for a different one. All the mines are different, no matter where you go. They're just absolutely completely different. And I've torch lined basically so I know which way I came in. Some of these mines all have multiple shafts down into them, so at least if I lined my tunnel, I know which way I came in. As you can see, I'm having a good look round. We've got gold, we've got iron, we've got gravel. Obviously it's bed, you know, it's going down to bedrock, so we've got plenty of stone to go at. I don't hear any zombies, so I decided at this point I'm going to get my lighting up and running. Even though I do have a miner's torch on my helmet, I still want extra light. As you can see, it makes a lot of difference. And the reason I put them on wood boxes like this is you gain more light when you actually step it away from the object. So plenty of resources for us to go out. So what I'm going to do is, where I've entered the mine at this point, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I need the gravel anyway, so I might as well clear the gravel out and make a good walkway. So if I need to get out of this mine quickly, I'm not having to fight, I'm not having to jump, I don't want to climb ladders. I just literally want to hit the run button and get out. And that is basically what I'm doing here. Clear away the gravel, I'm going to need it anyway, so if I don't do it this way, I then come along and forget about it, get rid of the gravel, suddenly need to want to get out of the mine, and I can't. And there we go. And there's our exit out. So at this point I've decided it's almost like a perfectly sealed area. So rather than mine the items, run up here and process it on the surface, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set some forges up where I'm going to be working. That way I can keep throwing the items in, keep the fire going, and speed my production up a lot more. So I've come back to camp. I'm going to grab the items that I need to actually work whilst I'm in the mine. I need to make a cement mould. I don't need to make our iron mould because we've already got our iron mould in the other forge, so I can just take it out of that. I'm going to need some food, so I've still got food to cook. I might as well go ahead and get that cooked up, and then I can take some down with me and leave some up on the surface. And that's pretty much what I'm just going to do. Once I've got the food cooked up, I've headed back down to the mine, and now I'm actually going to seal the mine. And I'm sealing it in such a way that I can get in and out very easily. But this is, it's like a detector. If zombies do work their way down into the mine, these aren't going to stop them, but they're going to make a racket trying to break them, and it gives me time to assess of what I'm going to do. Do I need to dig a tunnel where I'm at and fill it in, or do I need to get higher? Can I fight them? It just gives me options. And that's something I've found playing this game in the 700 and odd plus hours that I've done, is having that second option is definitely your friend. So I've gone ahead, made 3 forges and got the 3 forges placed down. One's for the cement, the middle one is for the iron ingots, and our third one is for lead, which isn't really a big deal for me at the moment. I'm not particularly after lead because I don't have any firearms, so for me I'm only going to process it into barge just to, I've got something to store, that's it. It's just easier in my inventory, nothing more. So I've got a storage box down here as well, literally just so I can empty out the crap out of my inventory, making it easier for me to process. Now I do have some cloth left over, and I did notice that my clothing at this point were actually very low on hit points. As you can see, my boots and my top is actually very low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cloth. I've split it perfectly in half, and I'm just going to apply both of that to the items, and they're well over 3/4 on health now, or hit points. The clothing you can't make. It's a lootable item only. Whether they change that in future revisions where you can actually start making clothing, I don't think it's been mentioned. So I tend to, as soon as I know that it's around half health, if I have the cloth spur, I'm going to process it and get it going. So our forages are slowly going up, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start clearing this gravel away. Now, with gravel you need to be careful. As you can see there, I only hit the bottom one, and gravel will not sustain itself. So if you hit the bottom out of 7 in a stack, they will all collapse. And later on you will actually see me do something that was really, I should follow my own advice. It was very daft of what I did, and I ended up paying a hefty price for it. So at this point I'm going to start grabbing stone and start getting the cement going. We have gravel, the cement's coming off, and that's the 2 ingredients you need for making concrete. Again, it literally at this point is grab whichever resource is low in our forge and mine for that. So at the moment we're doing stone, and as you can see now I'm actually repairing my tool. Now when you're using the tool, same as melee, you've got to make sure you try and not let it go below 2/3. Once it gets below 2/3 it becomes ineffective. So yes, it will still work, but it's nowhere near as effective as if it was at full health. And as you can see, I managed to clear some of the gravel away from the iron, and that's basically what I'm going to try and go for now. So after some time I'm still clearing gravel away and still grabbing that gravel, and as you can see we're now exposing the iron. Now here's something that I messed up. If you look there, for that reason, never try and mine directly above your head. It's if you do it at like at a 45-degree angle, I would not have died there. So that is my first death, and it wasn't even to a zombie. It was just due to rushing and stupidity. So I've grabbed a few items and I've headed back down to our mine. And this is what I meant that I can get easily back in. Just pick the boxes up, and then obviously as you pass through, put the blocks back down. And here we are, back to our mine. So I did manage to get some iron ore, so we can start getting our iron bars forging now. Stone, it's okay, it's getting there. So we have some lead, so we might as well start getting that smelted down, and then get our bike and roll our items. At this point, it literally is a back and forward operation between the faces of what you're mining and the forges. As you can hear, zombies are getting a bit interesting now. We've got 3 forges running. We're going to be generating a lot of heat on the map, so zombies are going to start zoning in on that. Got our pickaxe at full health again. As you can see, now what I'm doing is I'm doing it not quite at a 45-degree angle, but it's not directly above me, and I can just quickly back away from it. And I've just carried on mining for the iron, and as you can see, iron is very, very quick to rack up when you get it in that kind of setup. Stone starting to get a bit lower on, so I'm going to go ahead and start getting some more stone. Now at this point I actually hear zombies, and I weren't sure whether they were actually in the mine shaft or just above me. So what I've decided to do is actually straighten this face here. This is where I'm going to be working for my iron. I'm going to need a platform to get up higher anyway to get the iron, so I might as well go ahead and do that now. As you can hear, they seem a lot closer than I liked for comfort. So all I've done is 4 high block tower, and I'm going to put some ladders up. You can see I'm going to keep looking around, see what's around, check my forges. The biggest thing with this at this point, this type of gameplay, is you've got to keep these forges going. The sooner you get this part done, we can get the base done, and then we've got a platform to work from, then you can start your excursions out. So we get our ladders put up, and then all I'm going to do at this point is just put some wooden blocks around, and then that'll allow me to put a hatch on top, and it just gives me options then. So if for any reason that the zombies do get in, it's another time mechanism. It gives me options of what I want to do. There you go, as you can see, that's it, nothing fancy. At this point, all it is literally back and forward now, keeping them forges going, and that's all I'm going to do right the way through until day 3. Is I'm just going to, all the way through the night, is just keep them forges. Until next time, I will see you on day 3. Take care, please leave a comment and like the video. There are more videos in the series coming up, so please do subscribe. Any feedback that you've got, anything you'd like to see, or anything you'd need to be explained, or if you don't have an idea, or even if you've got ideas of what I can do, please leave a comment. Until then, take care, enjoy the game, see ya.